the great state of California, Petaluma Speedway, my hometown, here to race a wingless sprint car. It's pretty much a purpose-built race car. It's a 360 cubic inch Ford motor, I think. This track would probably go around 100 or so, and the throttle response and the power delivery is ridiculous. It's the most responsive throttle I've probably ever felt, and power to weight ratio I've ever driven. These things tend to wheelie, which is awesome, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. I got an opportunity. I went and raced a go-kart, and one thing led to another, and we got a chance to test 2 weeks ago. First time I've ever driven any kind of race car, really, and had a great test, and one thing led to another, and now I'm back here to go race, and it should be interesting, exciting, and should be a blast. No expectations, go out, have some fun, and get sideways, so it's pretty fun to race in your backyard. I'm definitely lacking on the whole experience thing as far as in a car, but I feel like I've raced a lot of different tracks on dirt track and have a good idea of chasing the track and setting the bike into the corner and picking up the throttle and managing the tire and stuff like that. So hopefully it should cross over pretty fast, and you know, throttle's on the right, so you know, it's got to be something like a dirt bike. Jason Toft is another driver for Barsotti's Auto Body and Thomas Family Racing. He's kind of been my mentor getting in this whole car thing, and he's an up-and-coming talented kart driver and been racing sprint cars for the last 2 years, and he's definitely helped me out a lot.
I think that's going to be the line for qualifying. The soft up here, that berm's going to kind of get started here in a minute. But like, I think the low line later on is going to be good since it's still wet right now. Yeah. Once it starts drying out.
It looks like it's going to be heavy tonight, hopefully, and maybe not a dry slick. So for the dry slick, you want to kind of just manage the throttle and try to keep it rolling and keep momentum and keep it hooked up. No expectations, try to bring it home in one piece and go out and have some fun. That's the main goal.
Obviously not scared to put the hammer down. 15.921, 15921 for Tyler O'Hara.
I'm a NASCAR fan, a sprint car fan ever since I was little, and racing fan, you know, all forms really.
So 15.921 the official time for Tyler O'Hara. Solidly in the field, 12 out of the 16 that have qualified.
That's going to be the key with it, is just learning how to keep that throttle on more. This end you had really good, so you weren't falling apart here so much. That end, I could hear it. So going into turn one, yeah, still a lot of understeer issues. So while it's sitting there understeering, you're out of the throttle, and it's only like making the problem bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but this end you had right. So whatever you're doing on this end, do that end. It's all good. We're back.
I gotta drive the car so much harder this time than the dry slick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
way
what's
hard, like throttle heavier. Not
definitely.
Like driving.
No, definitely. You're definitely. I think right about now you're going to be right foot planted a lot of the time. You know, even center corner out type of deal.
Yeah.
You just pitch it a little overboard so that you're really not gripped up right when you're trying to get back the throttle. You know, that's when you can actually get those revs up. You know, so if you wait a little too long and you're still in that grip patch, you're not going to have any throttle to get that thing going. You know? So I noticed it's just a little bit of how you drive the car. You're going to have to find that sweet spot where it actually carries that throttle all the way through there. You know?
Yeah. Last time we came out here was a real dry slick. This time it's super heavy and super hooked up, so every time I hit the throttle it just wants to wheelie and go towards the fence, even down the straightaway. It's great, man. It's a completely different track than it was last weekend, and it's good though, trying to find some smooth lines down low and 3 and 4, and up high in 1 and 2. And I'm a little inconsistent right now with the driving, but you know, I can pull a couple sections together and then I hit a big bump and then lose the throttle and go backwards. But you know, just getting used to driving with other cars and trusting them. And there's a lot of rookies out there, so I'm one of them. And just trying to bring it home on all four.
Have fun.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's why we're here.
You might want to loosen it up just a little.
We're putting a 90 on the left rear to get a little more staggered and help it turn.
Race here both of our events last year.
And hooked up.
Will be in
The track is hooked up.
Yeah.
We're
You
going to
have to
all
hook the car up to the track. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to loosen it up
We're also
some.
going to have a memorial lap.
That's
for
what we're-
Joe
that's what
Myers,
we're trying.
who lost
Free
his
it up.
father 1 month ago today.
Shock or
Driver the number 46.
Kick it out a little
Modified.
bit.
Kick it out.
He'll be on the outside.
That's what we were
with the
thinking about doing that
checkered
too.
flag And the vintage car top gun.
All right, I'm gonna check this out.
Coming up.
See you guys. Good to see you, man. Pretty much. I'm just trying to find anywhere they're trying to fill in these whoops, these big old holes. There's a big nasty hole over here in the middle of it too. It's so hooked up right now. We're trying to get the car to free up a little bit so I can actually drive the thing. Trying to figure out if there's any places where it might be more hooked up or a little drier. Looks a little drier down low. Right here's pretty good line right here. First heat race is in the books. It's pretty wild. Track's garbage right now. Some big old whoops all the way through 3, 4, 1, and 2. But other than that, man, it's a blast. I got it to wheelie a couple times, and I can't stop smiling. It's so fun. We're gonna make a little stagger adjustment, and hopefully it'll be easier to get in the corner and rotate the car. But man, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. My feedback is non-existent right now. I'm still trying to just figure out how to drive the thing, and you know, they're watching me and they're going to try to make some adjustments and make it easier to drive. And you know, we got our main event coming up, and I think we're starting towards the back, so there's only one way to go forward. Success would be logging laps, finishing the race, and you know, wherever we end up, you know, I'm going to try my hardest and try to ride smart or drive smart and have fun. That's why we're here. Yeah, no, we definitely had a racing incident tonight. We made a huge adjustment with the car with the stagger, and I could feel it right away. The track didn't get any better; it got a lot worse. But I was going to try to run up high. I had a line packed in there. I was packing it in for a couple laps, and then we went green and went through 1 and 2, and then coming down the back straightaway, 1 and 2, a couple cars got tangled up in front of me, and I had nowhere to go, and kind of nailed them. We got nailed from behind, but the car wasn't too bad. We actually got it fixed, and we're ready to go back out, but there was no cautions, and if there was a caution, we could have gone back out, and that's what we were trying to do, to try to get some laps and get some experience. But unfortunately, there was no more cautions. But
How do you know when you're having a hard time driving how much that stagger really makes a difference, and where it makes a difference, just everywhere and turning.
I had so much momentum around the outside, and even one of those racing deals, I guess.
Yeah, as I said, that car that went up kind of through the middle, there's 3 wide there.
I had a perfect lane to my line and everything, and then everything just went boom, boom, came out. And
well, he got kind of forced up, and that was going to hurt you too. So.
Man, it was fun. We learned a lot, and you know, kept her on all 4, and we'll come back next weekend and give it a whirl.
The track was just a 180-degree difference from last weekend to last weekend. It was super tacky and hooked up and a lot of moisture, and this weekend it was like a groove down low right on the bottom feeders, and if you got off the groove it was just marbles, and we went straight up to the top. And first lap of hot laps, I came in, I was following the car ahead of me. He had a nice high line, and I came in and just put it in and got a little too sideways and jumped a little cushion and got in the marbles and went up and tagged the wall and broke a bird cage and bent the rear bumper out, but we got it fixed up and ended up finding one of those. But the track was just completely a different driving style than the weekend before. Heat race tonight was awesome. Started second, first row outside, and got a decent start and then tucked into second, and the car ahead of me was running down low, and it was kind of a one-line track, and wasn't the fastest car out there, but I held to my line and I knew that no one could pass me around the outside, and ended up getting second in my heat race, and it was really cool and a big accomplishment for our team. Jason ran the wing car tonight, 27 car for Barsotti's, and the cars are just way more radical. They got aluminum block heads and a wing on the top that really, gets some downforce. It's pretty much an upside down airplane wing, and it's got a lot of downforce, and they really haul ass and stick to the track. And he had a good night, and he's ran the wingless car last year and has a lot of information to help me get going. And main event was under the lights. Track kind of came in a little bit and started somewhere back in the middle of the pack, and kind of let the race come to me, and was just trying to pick up from other drivers. And it took me a couple laps to kind of get into the flow, and I watched a couple of drivers in front of me and how they were sending it into the corner, and kind of just latched onto them, and just learning the width of the car and how to drive around other people and try not to hit anybody. And it was great. We ended up 6th, and I just keep learning it every weekend and learning more about the car and stagger and setup and tow and all sorts of stuff. And tonight was a lot of fun because I got to work on my racecraft. Anytime I can work on my racecraft and put it in my toolbox and bring it back to road racing and different circumstances and situations, and just getting that experience of racing, and any green flag's a green flag, and it's good to keep racing and keeping my mind up to speed and competing.
In between racing the AMA Pro Harleys, I think we're going to be doing some more racing this year in a sprint car. It's a good opportunity, something to go out and have some fun, and I got my sponsor Scrub Blade and Barsotti Body Shop helping us out, so all's good.